Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. PGL Minecraft here with a TVT Empire Cause in the upper left-hand corner versus imbaBratOK over here in the top right corner. It is BratOK and not BratOK, even though his name looks like it is in fact BratOK. imbaBratOK, obviously member of Team Imba. It is not an indication that this player is imbalanced. Or maybe it's an indicator that actually the race that he plays is imbalanced, for those of you who think that Terran is unbalanced, which I am not, of course, a member of because I'm a Terran player, but also because I actually think that it is balanced, and we can see that in the newest GSL results and in the results of all sorts of tournaments. We see Protoss players winning all the time, we see Zerg players winning all the time. I really do think that that the game overall is fairly balanced. In general, and actually the internal balance, which is like the balance amongst units, is pretty good as well. So that's just kind of my general thoughts and opinions on the subject. Not that anyone particularly cares, unless they do. In which case, yay for you. Neither players. Oh no, never mind. I lied. I was about to say neither players opted for a gas first, but we do see a gas first down here from BratOK. So BratOK will definitely be going for a gas-heavy build, as that may indicate. I would guess one of exactly two things. And one of the two things is either going to be Blue Flame Hellions, or it's going to be Banshees. I would guess Banshees, given the nature of this map, and just because Banshees tend to be pretty effective on this map because there are kind of a wide area that you can enter with your Banshees. There's a wide amount of space behind to maneuver with your Banshees, and I mean it's just very hard to cordon off with any sort of Marines or with turrets or anything like that, and Banshees can be quite effective in this sort of situation. Of course, Blue Flame Hellions, for basically the same reason, can be effective as well, as you can drop them here and then run them in, and then and there's a lot of kind of maneuver room with your faster Blue Flame Hellions to do a lot of damage as well. So we might be seeing that as well. I do like to see Blue Flame Hellions as kind of a change of pace. They're less likely to do damage, as Banshees will almost always kill a number of SCVs and Marines. And of course Blue Flame Hellions will always kill a number of Marines as well. It's actually building the factory over there, which actually indicates does indicate Blue Flame Hellions. So looks like he is going to lay it down. We'll have to see if he ends up getting a starport after that. Kind of interesting if he is. Maybe like normally a scan would go here to try to spot Banshees, and if he builds it over here, he's going to be able to avoid that. That's very possible. Meanwhile, we see from Empire Cost, we actually see a Reaper coming out right now. It looks like it's going to be a Reaper expand. Although it is possible that he is going for the Super Reaper attack build, where you get a bunch of Hellions, Reapers, and a medevac, and just trounce your opponent if they're unprepared, basically. But nope, it is going to be a Reaper expand, as we see the command center going down right now on location. Boom, as he pulls out the giant piece of metal right there in the middle out of his pocket, and somehow, even though he's like a third of the size of that, is able to pull it out of his pocket and just place it in there. Looks like the Reaper is going to go ahead and come up, and actually there is only one Marine right now. There is a Hellion on the way and a starport as well. So it looks like it is in fact going to be Banshees. I would guess that we're going to see a tech lab on that factory actually after we see that. Looks like that Reaper already has 3 kills right now. Very nice job from him. He is going to take out that Marine. Oh, Marine! Empire Kaz over-microing against that Marine right there, as if you just A-clicked on it, he would have been able to take it out, but looks like we're not quite able to do that. However, that Reaper did do a good amount of damage, and I guess very limited amount of scouting in. He probably could have ran it straight across and tried to, pick up exactly what his opponent was going. He would have been able to see these 2 buildings. It's possible that he just basically assumed expansion as a result of not really seeing anything worthwhile in his opponent's base. Looks like this Hellion is going to move up and deal a little bit of damage to these Marines, possibly trying to take that Marine out, but looks like he's not going to be the case. Also not able to spot the command center, I believe. Yes, he has not spotted the command center. He actually hasn't even scouted his opponent's base at this point in time. Oh, but it is going to be Hellion Marine basically, medevac. And so he didn't get the Reaper version of this. It is not the Reaper version of this build, which is more scary, but of course more of an all-in, as well as they're not really long-term units and they cost a lot of gas as well. And it of course delays your push as well. And is usually not really done off of 2 bases like that. So he's actually going to have to double elevator. He'll elevator right here, then he'll pick up the Marines, move them down, and then actually probably just going to slide the Marines across inside of the medevac, put them over here, and then pick up the Hellions and put them in as well. Looks like Stim will not, in fact, be done for Empire Kaz, so he could deal a really good amount of damage, actually. I don't think there's any... Yeah, there is no Marauder here. And Empire Kaz does not even... Oh, God, this might be deadly. Actually, BratOK very well might just kill his opponent right here, depending on the control. Empire Kaz is definitely going to pull SCVs, so we're going to have to see how many he ends up pulling here. Although if Stim finishes, he'll be in much better position to hold this off. A lot of this is going to depend on control. The SCVs do get pulled. A lot ended up getting taken out right here. But nice focus firing from Empire Kaz is actually going to take out those Hellions right there. And very nice hold there from Empire Kaz, losing not too many workers, I don't think. Looks like he ended up losing 9 workers killed total, but I think that included 3 from the Reaper. So really it was only 6 workers killed during the entire engagement. He ended up killing basically his opponent's entire army there, and he's really much more well prepared to take advantage of that, as I believe he's actually... No, he's not quite ahead on harvesters, but he is ahead on mules, and so that means his income is going to be higher. He's also mining more efficiently as he has this second base up and running. Looks like the medevac is going ahead and drop off that marine on the Xel'Naga Cavern, and it's going to be Xel'Naga Tower, rather, not Tavern. Xel'Naga Tavern would be a great name for a bar, though. Those of you who are interested in drawing a StarCraft crowd for like Barcraft or something like that, Xel'Naga Tavern sounds absolutely terrific. And it didn't even give him the courtesy heal right there, so he is bleeding right now, unfortunately. And the magic powers from the medevac have not zapped down quite yet in order to be able to heal him up. We'll see if he does it on his way out. Is he going to be nice? Oh, there you go. Is going to heal his buddy up. Make sure he returns to full health right there. And actually it looks like we're going to be seeing another push just like we saw into there, but this time it's going to be with siege tanks. I would guess with the 2 siege tanks, as the second siege tank is on the way. He's going to want to change the rally point, though, to right here, just to make it easier to pick up with the medevac right there, as he is going to now elevate those units up. Going to pick up the siege tank next, and siege mode is now completed. Empire Kaz, rather, does not know that this is coming at all. Has no inclination of it, and actually his forces are going to be moving out at basically the exactly wrong time. Oh no, it looks like that second siege tank is going to go ahead and back here. Boom, that blast is going to stop the rest of the Marines from moving in. Unfortunately, the Marines are going to be completely out of position to deal with this push right here, but I do not believe, yes, these Marines do not have stim right now, so it's really going to prevent this from being a successful push, rather. That actually siege tank is perfect because it got the blast off, and Empire Kaz saw that and he said, you know what, I can't actually move in. I can't actually move in there because there is a siege tank, and so he saw that, and then he just actually moved the siege tank away. He's going to go pick up this other siege tank, and now he's going to have 3 siege tanks for this push. I'm not sure. I don't think Empire Kaz has still spotted this. And unfortunately, a bunch of supply depots are over here, so those are all liable to be taken out right there. He does have a huge amount of Marines right there, though. Now, unfortunately, Marines are not very good against siege tanks, especially since siege tanks will have the... I mean, it's not the high ground advantage, but it is a cliff advantage right there, and they do have SCVs for repair. Definitely going to be set to auto repair right now. We can actually see, I think, he has not set them to auto repair, at least not quite yet. Looks like Empire Kaz is going to be moving his SCVs away. Just be absolutely careful with that. SCVs are actually moving on top. Oh, he's got a bunker. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Oh, that's going to be impossible to push out of. And, okay, so it remains to be seen exactly what Empire Kaz's response is going to be to this. It's going to deal a lot of damage right now. BratOK, rather, is going to have a very nice chance of being able to basically, oh my god, he's already killed like 6 supply depots. Look at his opponent's supply right there. Looks like some additional Marines are going to go ahead and stem up and be able to take out all of the bunkers right there. Nice job moving in from behind, able to split up against the siege tanks. The siege tanks are not focus firing against the good units right there, and Empire Kaz is absolutely amazing. Oh wow, that was so terrific right there. Able to get the Marines right here with a perfect split in the back. The siege tanks wasted all of their fire on those Marines right there, as the Marines did run across first, making them the ideal targets, and not these ones up top, which were grouped up. The ones up top able to take out the bunkers just before the bunkers were ended up being taken out, and then the rest of the Marines, of course, were cleaned up as well. That was a beautiful hold right there from Empire Kaz. He did still take a lot of damage, but it could have been a lot worse if he engaged that improperly and let those bunkers finish. He could have taken an absolute ton of damage from his opponent right there. And actually now Empire Kaz is going to be in the lead right now. Primarily, actually, because his third is already finished, actually. Yeah, the command center is finished. He hasn't quite taken it yet, however. That is going to increase his production as soon as his supply block ends, which actually is a fairly lengthy supply block for a professional player. But not the biggest deal at this point in the game. Looks like... Yeah, it looks like so the supplies have remained about even, however, as I've been talking about, Empire Kaz is just a little bit ahead. His upgrades are also better. Actually, I think they just evened out because BratOK did just finish his combat shields and his combat shields and his stim pack. So that does even that aspect out just a little bit. However, 1-1 is already done for Empire Kaz, and that is absolutely hugely important in this sort of battle. Looks like BratOK will get very nice position with the siege tanks right there, and it's not sure whether or not Empire Kaz will walk into those, as they are in fact, or that we're going to be behind the grass screen rather. Looks like Empire Kaz is going to be able to finish this and siege up in time as well. Looks like the siege tanks are going to be out of range of each other, so they're just going to stare at each other just a little bit. However, the control of this watchtower right here is really going to be very nice for BratOK to be able to position his siege tanks. He can actually probably, it looks like he is actually going to position his siege tanks up on top of this cliff right here, unfortunately in range of the medevac right there, which is able to spot those. So not really able to do that. However, he could well, actually, he's going to need a Viking, really, to push past across this. But at worst, the vision is going to be neutral as a result of the control of this Zelnaga tower. Looks like double upgrades are on the way for BratOK right now, but unfortunately his opponent is greater than 1-1 ahead of him, actually, as the fact that Empire Kaz actually has 2-2 on the way and 2-2 on the way ahead of his opponent means that he's going to be very nice for upgrades. He's going to be 1-1 ahead of his opponent's Marines, which is going to be very important for winning any sorts of Marine-on-Marine battles in this game. Looks like you see continuous battle for these watchtowers right here, just to try to make sure it's almost like a one-upsmanship. Is he's like, oh, you're gonna send 2 Marines? I'll send 3. Then, but you don't want to send too many Marines. Obviously, if you send like 10 Marines, then all of a sudden your army becomes greatly weakened right here. Now it looks like Empire Kaz is actually going to be caught a little bit flat-footed again by this. Unfortunately, the turret is going to deal a little bit of damage to that medevac right there, but the Marines are going to be able to get into that medevac and start dealing some additional damage to his opponent right there. But it looks like BratOK is actually, or Empire Kaz rather, is going to be going for a counterattack right here, and the siege tanks are not actually sieged right here, so he's going to stim and run up as fast as possible before those SCVs get into position to melt those SCVs almost immediately right away and take out the siege tanks right here. And Empire Kaz has taken a huge supply lead right now, destroying 4 siege tanks of his opponent right here. Meanwhile, he has a very nice little defense right here, which is going to prevent any additional damage from being dealt from BratOK. So BratOK is actually going to have to try to break out of here and get back to his base, but he's already lost his expansion. Kaz has actually already established his 3rd base, really. Obviously, he might not be able to keep mining from up, but BratOK is actually just going to have to GG out of this game. BratOK kind of went for another one of those little sneaky attacks, hoping that Empire Kaz would have to move back and really try to counterattack, but Empire Kaz just decided to go for the base trade scenario, and it wasn't even a true base trade because he had a very nice defense here, which would put him in a very good position in any sort of base trade scenario that we were experiencing right there. So, very nice play from both of these players. I definitely enjoyed watching this game. And Empire Kaz, I have to say, was just played absolutely incredibly. Like, that was really nice. That little cleanup right here, the way he sent the Marines, like, perfectly split in the back to be able to absorb the siege tank fire, which is, like, absolutely incredible. And it was, even the timing was good, because the 3 bunkers right there were just about to finish. If those bunkers finished, it would have been a lot less cost-effective to be able to chew through that. Although, probably still not too bad, just because of the way that he was able to get the siege tanks to not be target fired. On the other hand, BratOK definitely should have been able to target fire those siege tanks on these clumps of Marines and deal a lot of damage to Empire Kaz's forces and take a army lead at that point in the game. That's exactly what imbaBratOK rather should have been doing. So looks like the player who was imba this game was actually Empire Kaz. He did take it, and this is a best of 1. So I'm done with the series. Hope you enjoyed watching. This is PGL Minecraft signing off.